Welcome to Storytime by TCTS Ministries. Stabbed. One afternoon while at church, my pastor suddenly stopped service and began praying a prayer of protection over us. For some reason, I felt the prayer was definitely for me. Later on that day, when I had gotten home, there were 3 angry women standing out in front of our home. They were looking to jump on my sister Nellie, who was only about 14 years old at the time, for beating all hell out of one of their siblings earlier that day, looked to have been about 19. The girl had come back with her mother and one other family member, hoping to seek her revenge on my sister. Nellie wanted badly to leave the porch to finish the job, but Mom wouldn't let her. When I asked what was going on, the girl's mother had then begun disrespecting me and cussing me out. I lost it for a moment and challenged the woman to a duel with my older sister, who at the time lived right around the corner from us. When I began walking down the street toward my sister's house, the 3 women began following after me. The daughter then ran up behind me as if she was trying to do a sneak attack. I turned around when she then threw a punch at my face, but I blocked it and grabbed her by the throat and threw her carefully onto the ground. While I was holding her down, the mom then pulled out a small knife and buried the blade into my shoulder near my neck and then my back, right below my shoulder blade. I got up and began slow jogging away down the street toward my sister's house, but by that time, the 3 women had ran off. When I got to my sister's house, she called the ambulance as her boyfriend began helping me with my bleeding wounds. An officer had finally arrived as he then began questioning me about the women's whereabouts. Though I knew, I lied and said no, because I had already planned to take care of the matter once I had gotten back home from the hospital. 2 paramedics then rushed in and immediately began checking my wounds and made me aware that the one near my neck needed to be stitched up. They then took me and loaded me into the back of the ambulance before then whisking me away off to the hospital. All I thought about for the entire ride was how I was going to execute my revenge on the women by burning their house to the ground with them in it. But that was just one of my many other plans. After the doctor had finished stitching me up, he told me that the blade came very close to severing an artery in my neck, and the wound on my back being an inch more of the blade would have left me with a punctured lung. I could do nothing but gasp in horror to know how close I had come to being severely injured or possibly death, and knowing this had made me even thirstier for a taste of that woman's blood. Later that night in my bedroom, I had everything well thought out for the following night to finally seek my revenge, until I heard a soft voice telling me to put away my anger and for me to pray for her. I looked around the room, but I did not see anyone. The voice spoke again and told me to pray for her, but the struggle with my anger in that moment was very real. After a while, my heart had begun to soften as I then supernaturally began experiencing the pain and hurt the woman was dealing with in her life. I was no longer angry, and not long after, found myself sincerely praying for her. A couple of days later, as I was entering one of the Family Dollar stores, the woman that stabbed me was coming out and began staring at me as if she was really frightened by my presence. She then melted with a warm smile and gave me a humble nod before then walking away. Whatever that woman was dealing with in her life, I saw in the spirit that God had miraculously restored her back to health. Though she was unable to put her emotions into words at that moment, I already knew that she was sincerely sorry. Look, I could have allowed my anger to get the best of me and probably would have found myself in a worse off situation, but glory be unto God for allowing me to see the error of my own heart and for giving me the ability to operate in love and mercy despite my circumstance. It was amazing to have witnessed God at work, how he used my situation to bring about the good of his will in someone else's life.